The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is founded in London in 1887. Three Freemasons, William Robert Woodman, William Wynne Westcott, and Samuel Little McGregor Mathers, claim to have discovered mysterious cipher manuscripts written in coded Latin and Hebrew. These papers, supposedly traced to German Rosicrucians, become the blueprint for an entirely new magical order. The Golden Dawn blends Kabbalah, astrology, alchemy, tarot, and Egyptian symbolism. At its height in the 1890s, it has around 300 members, including poets, scientists, and occultists. The rituals are elaborate. Members wear colored robes representing elements, perform invocations of archangels, and visualize themselves walking through mythic temples. They divide into three orders: outer for beginners, inner for advanced magic, and a secret. Third order said to communicate with secret chiefs, invisible spiritual masters. Some of Britain's most famous figures passed through its ranks. William Butler Yeats, future Nobel Prize-winning poet, joins in 1890. Aleister Crowley, later infamous as the wickedest man in the world, is initiated in 1898. Their rivalry becomes legendary. In 1900, Crowley, dressed in Highland costume and carrying a ceremonial dagger, storms the London Temple in a bid to seize leadership. Yeats himself helps bar the doors. Newspapers gleefully report the scandal of wizards at war in London. The order fractures by 1903. Mathers retreats to Paris. Crowley forms his own groups. Yeats focuses on poetry, but the influence of the Golden Dawn endures. Its tarot deck, ritual structure, and magical philosophy shape later movements. Wicca in the 1950s, modern ceremonial magic, even pop culture depictions of magic circles and pentacles. By the late 20th century, revival groups emerge, claiming lineage back to the 1887 founders. Today, dozens of organizations still call themselves Golden Dawn, though most are small. What began as a Victorian experiment in esoteric science became one of the most influential occult societies in modern history. The Knights Templar were destroyed in 1312. After nearly 2 centuries of power, the papacy dissolved the order, and Grand Master Jacques Demolay was burned in Paris in 1314. Yet their story didn't end. Myths claim that some knights escaped with treasure, others fled to Scotland, and that their traditions survived underground. By the 18th century, those legends resurface in Freemasonry. In 1737, Andrew Michael Ramsay, a Scottish-born Mason in France, gives a famous speech linking Freemasonry to the crusading knights. Soon, Templar degrees appear in Masonic lodges across Europe. These rituals do not claim direct descent, but they borrow the symbols, red crosses, swords, mantles, and the mystique of the medieval order. In the York Rite of Freemasonry, especially strong in the United States, the Knights Templar formed the final order of the Christian branch. To join, a Mason must already be a Master Mason, complete the Royal Arch and Commandery stages, and declare himself a Christian. The initiation includes vows of loyalty to faith, ceremonies with drawn swords, and reenactments of Crusader imagery. By the 19th century, Masonic Templars hold parades in full regalia in American cities. They build commanderies, march with plumed helmets, and claim the heritage of the fallen order. In 1919, over 30,000 Knights Templar Masons parade in Washington, D.C. for the order's centennial in the United States. Today, Masonic Templars exist in more than 30 countries, with tens of thousands of members. They run charities, scholarship funds, and maintain elaborate rituals. Officially, they admit no historical connection to the medieval Templars, but the imagery is intentional. The burning of Jacques de Molay, the Friday the 13th arrests, the treasure myths all are invoked in lodge speeches and ceremonies. So the paradox remains. The original Templars were crushed by kings and popes. Yet, in the imagination of Freemasonry, they were resurrected. What began as a Crusader order in 1119 survives as a secret society ritual in the 21st century. In the end, the Templars may have lost their castles, but they conquered immortality through myth. The Order of the Eastern Star begins in 1849. Rob Morris, a Freemason from Kentucky, creates a ritual that allows women to participate in Masonic life. The order adopts biblical heroines as symbols of virtue. By the 20th century, membership surpasses 500,000, making it one of the largest fraternal organizations in the world. Women take leading roles, with men supporting in secondary positions, a reversal of the Masonic model. Chapters fund scholarships, disaster relief, and charities. Still, secrecy remains. Rituals are performed in darkened lodges with symbolic objects. In an era when most societies excluded women, the Eastern Star carved out a powerful and lasting place. Bohemian Grove begins in California in 1872 as a retreat for San Francisco journalists and artists. Within decades, it transforms into a private camp for America's political and business elite. Each July, around 2,000 men gather in the redwood forests of Sonoma County. The most bizarre tradition is the cremation of care. Hooded figures carry torches to a 12-meter stone owl and burn in effigy, declaring freedom from responsibility. Presidents have walked among the trees. Ronald Reagan spoke there in the 1960s. Richard Nixon attended but later mocked it as the most faggy goddamn thing you could imagine. George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush were both members. Dwight Eisenhower, Herbert Hoover, Colin Powell, Dick Cheney, and Henry Kissinger all appeared on guest lists. Business leaders from Exxon, General Motors, AT&T, J.P. Morgan, and Bechtel built campfires alongside them. Behind the rituals, real history unfolded. In 1942, the Grove hosted a strategy session that helped launch the Manhattan Project and the creation of the atomic bomb. The club officially bans women, except as staff, sparking feminist protests in the 1970s and 2000. Journalist Alex Jones infiltrated the Grove and secretly filmed the owl ceremony, turning conspiracy theories into headlines. Members live in camps with whimsical names like Mandalay, Cavemen, and Hillbillies. But the motto is serious. Weaving spiders come not here. No business should be discussed though political deals and lobbying thrive under the redwoods. Bohemian Grove remains a paradox. It looks like summer camp theater, but with presidents chanting before a giant owl. It's easy to wonder whether the world's stage is set in a forest clearing. The Shriners, formerly the ancient Arabic order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, formed in New York in 1870. 2. Freemasons Walter Millard Fleming, a physician, and William J. Billy Florence, an actor created after Florence witnesses an exotic-themed ceremony in Marseille. They decide to blend Masonry with a playful Middle Eastern style. Members wear red fezzes, march in parades, and ride miniature cars in public spectacles. By 19, the Shriners count more than 50,000 members. The order becomes famous for its charity. In 1922, they established the first Shriners Hospital for Children in Shreveport, Louisiana. By the 21st century, the network grows to 22 hospitals across North America, providing free care worth billions of dollars. Their motto is fun and philanthropy, mixing carnival energy with medical miracles. Prominent members include U.S. presidents, Harry S. Truman and Franklin D. Roosevelt, boxing champion Sugar Ray Robinson, astronaut Buzz Aldrin, and actor Clark Gable. The Fezzes even appear in parades with marching bands on Main Street America, giving the Shriners a unique public visibility unmatched by other secret orders, yet scandals surface. In the 1980s, journalists uncover reports of donations, funding lavish parties, and questionable expenses. Despite criticism, the Shriners survive as one of the most recognizable Masonic spin-off spar fraternity, part spectacle, part billion-dollar charity, a secret society in theory, but one that hides in plain sight on city streets with fezzes and toy cars. The Oddfellows trace their roots to England in the 1700s. Their name reflects the odd idea of ordinary tradesmen forming lodges, something usually reserved for elites. By 1819, the Oddfellows arrive in America, led by Thomas Weldy. Their motto, friendship, love, and truth, sounds simple, but their influence is vast. At their peak in the late 19th century, they have nearly 1 million members in the U.S. alone. They run orphanages, homes for widows, and hospitals. Their symbols, 3 linked rings, appear on buildings nationwide. While less infamous than Freemasons, the Oddfellows show how secret ritual could fuse with social welfare, a brotherhood that built hospitals instead of empires. DeMolay International launches in Kansas City in 1919, founded by Frank S. Land. It's a youth fraternity named after Jacques DeMolay, the last Templar Grand Master, designed for teenage boys. It teaches leadership, loyalty, and ritual. By the 1960s, membership exceeds 1 million. Future U.S. President Bill Clinton, astronaut Edgar Mitchell, and Walt Disney all pass through its ranks. Rituals involve oaths before an altar, 7 candles for virtues, and robes modeled after medieval chivalry. While critics see indoctrination, supporters view it as training in civic duty. The order shows how medieval mystique was repackaged for modern American teenagers. The Bilderberg Group meets for the first time in May 1954 at the Hotel de Bilderberg in the Netherlands. About 120 political leaders, businessmen, and academics gather, including Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands and Joseph Rudinger, a Polish political advisor. The goal is to strengthen ties between Europe and the United States during the Cold War, but the secrecy is absolute. No press, no minutes, no public statements. Attendees include presidents, prime ministers, NATO generals, and CEOs of global corporations. By the 1970s, conspiracy theories erupt, claiming Bilderberg directs world government. In reality, it's an elite networking conference, but its guest list: Bill Clinton in 1991, Tony Blair in 1993, Emmanuel Macron in 2014 ensures suspicion. Secrecy breeds paranoia, and Bilderberg thrives on both. The Rosicrucians first appear in early 1600s Germany, when the Rosicrucian manifestos introduced the name Christian Rosenkreuz, Christian of the Rose Cross. The symbol of the rose on the cross fuses mysticism, Christianity, and alchemy, and the idea of a secret brotherhood spreads rapidly across Europe. Philosophers like Francis Bacon and alchemists like Michael Mayer are linked to the myth. Though no real brotherhood is ever proven, In the 19th century, the name resurfaces inside Freemasonry. In 1867, Robert Wentworth Little founds the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia in London. Membership is restricted to Master Masons who declare the Christian faith. Its members study alchemy, Kabbalah, and Christian mysticism. From SRIA emerge William Wynne Westcott, William Robert Woodman, and Samuel Little McGregor. Mathers the trio who later established the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in 1887. SRIA never grows large, but it survives to this day as a private Masonic society with a few thousand members worldwide. In the 20th century, Rosicrucian ideas take a different form through AMORC, the ancient mystical order Rosicrucians. Founded in 1915 in New York by Harvey Spencer Lewis, AMORC grows into a global movement. Its headquarters, Rosicrucian Park in San Jose, California, houses a research library, a planetarium, and the largest Egyptian museum in Western North America. AMORC operates in over 100 countries, offering courses in mysticism and metaphysics to tens of thousands of members. From uncertain beginnings in a few pamphlets to secret Masonic circles, and finally a worldwide public order. The Rosicrucians show how one symbol, the rose and the cross, created centuries of myth, ritual, and enduring fascination.